Mark, you hear, and right now we're going to bring in criminal defense attorney Mark Eigler. So, Mark, you hear the reports, you know what we know, and perhaps more, I'm not sure, with what investigators have told us so far. Based on what you do have in front of you, what can you glean? And is it possible that investigators know a whole lot more than they're letting on at this point?
Know more than we do, and if we know as much as they do, then there's a lot not to be grateful for on this Thanksgiving. They need to know more than we do. They need to keep this information close to their vest. As much as we thirst for knowledge, especially in a high-profile case like this, they would compromise their investigation if they reveal to us too many details. When they do catch the suspects involved and they sit them down and they want a confession out of them, they'll know that these people couldn't have gotten the information from anywhere other than being there firsthand.
Here, one of the things investigators have been willing to do is to give us a little information about what they know didn't happen. They know that the roommates that had been asleep downstairs had nothing to do with the crime, for instance, that sort of thing. Does that give us some insight into this crime? What investigators are willing to share as far as what did not occur there at the scene?
No, it just means two people who the public has speculated about, along with every other victim here, have now been exonerated. And that was important for police to do, and it doesn't compromise the investigation. But my biggest concern right now with the information we're getting is how reliable is it? When I first appeared on this network, the first day, and they announced it was an isolated, targeted attack and the community had nothing to worry about. There was no imminent threat to the public. We all said, okay, maybe that's true, and if it is, let's all relax. Kids can now walk on campus freely. Days later, they completely reversed themselves, saying, no, fear, you can go ahead and have that because we screwed up. So my question is, what is reliable from them at this point?
Well, Mark, to your point, because now the university there, they've made more, they've upgraded their security and patrols and et cetera around the campus area. And to your point, if you feel that investigators made those initial mistakes, which is possible in cases, as you well know, however, as you pointed out, they did make these mistakes in this case. Does that bring you to believe that perhaps they missed some clues and maybe didn't take the investigation initially in the direction that they may have right after they found out about this horrible situation?
No, it just means that somebody screwed up. It means that when we're trying to establish a relationship with those who are supposed to be keeping a very credible investigation going, they're initially telling us something that's not supported days later. So that starts a communication problem. Your word is your bond in life and in this case, and when you screw it up, we start to question things. The good news, however, let's talk about what to be grateful for. The FBI is partnering with local authorities. There then brings a wealth of resources that local authorities don't have. We also know that they are combing through video surveillance. Nowadays, you can't do anything without someone's ring capturing it. Right. So you go through all the video surveillance. If people don't want to provide it, you hit them with a subpoena and you get those items. And they're also combing through leads on who might have sold the type of weapon, the knife that they believe was used in this horrific attack. And maybe those leads pan out. Apparently there's over 700 leads, 90 people have been interviewed, and hopefully something yields fruit in this case.
What about the potential of the GPS and the vehicles, the student vehicles that are parked there still unseen in front of the house? You know, can they look into that without taking those vehicles away? Like, why are the vehicles still parked there?
If they haven't been able to take them away, likely it's because they can't at this point, and or they don't feel like it's of value. I don't know. I'm going to trust, as I generally do, law enforcement and the FBI because there's so much pressure to find leads in this case. So let's at least still give them the benefit of the doubt in light of the initial rhetoric that turned out to be false.
Well, oftentimes local jurisdictions